Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first of our Athena Hack 2022 webinars. I hope everyone's as excited as we are, joined by my colleague Egle, who will be popping up at various points this week. So I'll just pass over to her for a quick intro before we get into the session.
Yeah, hi everyone. Really excited to be here and really looking forward to Athena on Saturday. Hope to see you all here, guys. And if you have any questions during the webinar, feel free to just kind of type them into the chat, and we'll get back to you either during the webinar, or if not, we will have a Q&A session afterwards.
Thank you very much. Yeah, as Egle says, basically, if there's any questions, we can help answer them throughout. Just pop them in the chat and Egle will be kind of on hand to answer then. I can answer at the end as well. A quick note to say that for this session, basically, we'll be going through an overview of the agenda for this week and for the weekend. There's lots going on. We'll go through what's going on, but there will be kind of like dedicated intro sessions throughout the week. On Saturday, we'll go into more detail about everything you need for the hack, projects, judging criteria, and everything like that. So if you still have questions after this session, don't worry. We'll cover those, but also they're available. We're available on Discord. We can help answer and go through all that. So let's get started, shall we? Let's go away from that. Oh God, sharing screen. Right, here we go. So before we get started, just a huge thank you to our sponsors. You will see them throughout the week, whether that is on webinar, whether that is doing a workshop, whether that's on Discord, whether it's their themes. They've put so much hard work into making this possible, and I think nothing we could do this week would be possible without them. So a huge thank you to our sponsors. We'll come on to kind of like how you can get involved and how you can speak to them throughout the week. But yeah, just a big thank you, and kind of keep your eye out for more content from them as we go. Let me just move on now to the platform. So quickly, before we get started on Athena and the agenda and what's going on at the various points this week, I kind of want to touch on the platform. So you'll probably hear a lot about ShowCode throughout this week, about what's going on, about joining hubs and doing projects and the hackathon and everything like that. So I guess a bit of background about us, about ShowCode for those that aren't aware. So we're kind of the platform and the company powering the Athena Hackathon alongside kind of all of our sponsors as mentioned. And what we look to do is kind of like a number of things. We are helping coders basically make it easier to hire, make it easier to get jobs, learn skills, build portfolios. There's a lot you can do on the platform. We are always growing, so there's a lot that you'll be able to do going forward on the platform. It will kind of change in that regard as well. But I just wanted to kind of touch on a few key points because I think these will come up a fair bit this week and throughout the weekend. So it's worth knowing, and I think Egle will put a link in the chat for you as well about how you can get involved in these things on ShowCode. So join in hackathons and competitions. Hopefully what the majority of you are here for this week is to join the Athena Hackathon. So it will be super simple to find. It will just be under events. We'll go through, again, as I say, on the intro session on Saturday, exactly what you need to do for that. But we have loads of stuff going on. So we have coding competitions, coding challenges. You may notice if you've already logged on our varsity code competition, which has come to an end this year, but it's our university coding competition. Again, we've got loads of amazing sponsors for that, loads of great prizes. So well worth getting involved in things like that. And as we grow, we'll look to build and build and build on this. So it's well worth checking out for some stuff that we've got on at the minute. It's worth bearing in mind that we're going to continue to grow and publish things. And I think we're going to use Athena to really kick that off and start producing more content, more competitions, more leagues and things like that. So keep an eye out for that. I think following hubs, some of you may have seen emails this week. You may have seen things about hubs on Discord, on social, and been a bit like, well, what's a hub? What does that mean? So companies and all of our amazing sponsors, if we just flick back, they're all kind of looking to engage. They're looking to kind of learn more about you and see whether you kind of fit into the hiring process, to see whether they can help you develop. And that will all take place on their hub. So you can go and follow hubs, and basically that means that they can contact you, they can help you, they can kind of look to engage, see what it is you're after, and kind of help that journey that you're on. So if you think, you want to engage with any of our sponsors at any point, you want them to contact you, you want to be able to contact them, would encourage you to go and follow their hub. And much like what I've said with the hackathons and competitions, it will be a case with those of we'll have more throughout. It's not just Athena specific, and we will kind of build and build and build on that. So it's well worth logging on to ShowCode, taking a look at the hubs, seeing how that goes, and kind of looking at that building. Building your portfolio. So this is a really important part of what we're trying to do at ShowCode. Hence the name ShowCode. It's essentially what we're all about. So what we want to do at the end of the day is help everyone build a perfect portfolio, really, and that's through no effort of your own. It's not like you have to go in and do it. It's not like a CV. It's something that will sort of populate. So if we talk about Athena now, for example, and everyone going to be working on these projects, if you submit that, that will then populate to your portfolio, to your profile. You know, you can add bits, you can add descriptions, you can add what you're interested in and stuff like that, but we can help you populate it too. So when you do projects on the platform, when you do challenges on the platform, when you can compete in competitions, if you're just doing kind of ad hoc things, they can all become part of your portfolio. They'll all become part of your profile, and you can eventually start to share those with companies, with people you're following, or just share them with your friends. You know, it doesn't have to be ShowCode specific stuff. So if you're part of a bootcamp, if you've been part of university, or if you've just done a project kind of in your own time that you're really proud of and that you're really happy with, you can add that stuff to your portfolio. You can make sure that that's on ShowCode, that if you're trying to put your best foot forward when it comes to employers or other coders or just networking in general, that your best stuff is uploaded. So there's loads that you can do with your ShowCode profile, and I think treat it as that online portfolio that you're kind of really proud of. It puts your best foot forward. And again, you can start that now. So we'll obviously add projects throughout the weekend with Athena, but if there's stuff that you want to do in the meantime, feel free to start doing that now. So practicing your skills is another one. I think it comes down to challenges. So we've got a league live at the minute, I think, that had some of the Varsity Code challenges from last season involved. You can take a look at those. You can practice your skills. Once you've competed, you can go back and practice. So if you don't do as well as you wanted to, if you miss a test case, if you miss something, you can make sure that you're going back and practicing those skills. So that should be relatively easy, relatively good for your own progression. So we've had people throughout the seasons that, you know, have started off with maybe low scores that have gone on and they've practiced and they've built and they've built. So you can do that, and you can do that in most languages as well. So they're not language specific. It's not like if you only know Python, you can't compete because it's Java, and the Varsity Code challenges are open to most languages. And I think all of this, so the hackathons, the hubs, the portfolios, the skills, the building, the learning, it all kind of stems around to helping you get jobs. I think we can help with our sponsors, we can help with the hubs, and look to engage. And I think everything we look to do with hackathons, with competitions, with challenges, we can be focused in on making your life easier when it comes to kind of job searching, getting your name out there, and kind of taking away, I suppose, from the nastiness that tech kind of recruitment can be, and the various test cases and stuff like that. So this is what ShowCode's about. This is what Athena's about. I think it's just kind of a nice overview before we go into Athena to know a bit more about ShowCode, because I think throughout the week, this is what we'll be focusing on and the various things that we have going on. So as we move on from that, and by the way, as I say, if there are any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I can always help, Eglay can help, so that's all good. But move on to what we have this week. And then, yeah, just to track back on that as well, Eglay, if there's anything that maybe needs more discussion than in the chat, then feel free to butt in and I can help out. But yeah, moving on swiftly to what we have this week. So just before we get to the weekend, there's lots going on. Like I say, it's the first day of the Athena Hack week this week. The hackathon itself won't start until Saturday, so that you don't have to worry about building projects or anything now. Don't panic. But we have lots going on. So let's kind of touch on that for now. So first and foremost, one of our sponsors, Exclaimer, have launched a project especially for you in the build up to the hack. So you have 2 weeks to complete their project. I think Eglay should be able to put a link to that in the chat on ShowCode so that you can see it and you can see more detail. I've just attached a quick screenshot for now. There is more detail than this on ShowCode, but essentially they look to kind of transform the process of email signature management, as kind of you can see here. They do some really cool stuff. They do some really interesting stuff, and they have tasked you with kind of helping to embed some really cool and creative things within an email signature. They've given examples, and yeah, you've got 2 weeks to do this task basically, and it is a really good build up to Athena. So it can be individual, it can be team based. You can do this kind of on an ad hoc basis as a bit of a build up, to get you prepared for the hectic 24-hour hackathon at the weekend. This is quite a nice way to ease yourself into it. I think in your spare time, you get a couple of hours, you can work on this, submit your solution, and we'll have kind of an award ceremony to go through some of the best in a couple of weeks' time. So make sure you check this out. Again, like I say, part of the reason I wanted to go through ShowCode was so that when we were referring to hubs and projects, it would make sense. So feel free to kind of check this out. If you have any questions on this, again, as ever, we are around on Discord, we're around on email. You should be able to catch us kind of anywhere. I think we also have intercom on the platform itself if you need to contact us. So we're more than reachable, but hopefully it should be relatively well explained, relatively easy to do. And you can also share your solutions and projects in the Discord chat as well. So we'll set something up for that. So a really exciting way to kick off that week. That has just launched this morning. So let's see what we can come up with, and let's see who can be the first to do something. That would be quite interesting. See what the first solution is. Maybe we'll get that shared as well. So if you have any questions about that, like I say, let us know, but that should be a good way to kick off the week. We also have some confirmed themes. So I know there's been a lot of talk on Discord around themes, around what we'll be doing, around how it will work. I just want to reiterate with this that it won't just be a case of we'll give you this and that will be it. We will go through a full intro on Saturday. We'll give you sort of a hack pack and a hack guide for how it will work. So if you do have any questions, like I say, you can let us know, but we won't just leave you with this. But yeah, some really cool categories. These are confirmed. You'll see with PwC that there will be a live kind of announcement on Discord later today. That's just to keep everyone on their toes a bit and make sure that they're staying engaged. So we'll get that confirmed later today, but we will send this all out on email, on Discord. So make sure that if you are attending the hack, you keep your eye out so that we can go through it all, so we can see it. Another note to add to this is that our sponsors will actually be available on Discord to talk specifically about their themes. So if you have any questions you want to chat to them about, you can. Again, Discord is your place for that. The channel should be relatively easy to find, relatively self-explanatory. But with that, I think just making sure that you engage where you want, you ask us questions, you ask them questions, and really make the most of having the sponsors there on the channels to help out. I think moving on from this, we have the NEAR program. So NEAR are kind of our official crypto partners for this hackathon. They built a really cool roadmap for Athena and for outside of Athena as well. It's a great place to learn kind of a bit more about what they're doing, about their ecosystem, about how you can be part of it, and kind of just about crypto in general. So you can see some of the challenges they have, from meme contests to an introduction, NFT and front end, and then a social good bounty, which has just launched. All of these challenges are for development, so you can win some really cool prizes, which I think you can find a bit more detail on the Discord server about. Again, not to sound too much like a broken record, but yeah, you can win some really cool prizes, but also it's about learning, it's about developing, it's about kind of seeing whether Web3 is for you, to see what you can do and how you can engage. They'll also be there over the hack weekend. So if you have any questions, if you're kind of taking part in some of their projects and you're unsure, you can engage with them over the weekend. You can chat about opening wallets, you can chat about NFTs, whatever it is you kind of want to engage with, they'll be there at the weekend as well. So make sure that we're making the most of this, because I think it's a really, really exciting opportunity to kind of learn a few new stuff right at the beginning of it. So that'd be really interesting, and it's still ongoing. All of the projects are open, so you can get cracking with that. And again, it's similar to the project brief with Exclaimer. It should be relatively self-explanatory, but if there are any questions, feel free to let us know. And then the final thing this week to just look forward to is the amazing webinars and workshops we've got. So thank you everyone at the minute that's joined this. Appreciate it's probably early on a Monday morning after a bank holiday, but hopefully you're sticking with us, and hopefully you're excited for the stuff that we've got ahead. Here's a brief overview. We'll probably be adding some more sessions to this as well, but as you can see, we've got a load of exciting stuff going on with a load of our sponsors. There's some really great workshops, really great webinars. They'll all be kind of available. We'll send them via email, we'll send them via Discord. We will stream them to YouTube as we're streaming this to YouTube. So if retrospectively you need anything, if there are any questions, we can always kind of manage that and handle that. But you can see there's a lot of exciting stuff to come this week, so make sure that you stay tuned and watch those. Moving on to the final part of the agenda, and the final part of our Athena overview is just to discuss this weekend. So as exciting as the projects are, as exciting as all the webinars and workshops and the build-up will be, we know that a lot of people are here for the weekend, for what we're going to do. So if you are part of the in-person hackathon, you will see the schedule here. This should be sent round and again accessible on website and Discord. But you can see that we've got loads going on, from food, from entertainment. We've got table tennis, there's basketball machines, there's loads of sponsors to network with, to talk to. It's a really exciting opportunity. So if you haven't joined yet, I think there's a few tickets left, not many. So make sure that you sign up and confirm now. If you kind of have any questions, so you'll see that there is teaming on here, so we can team you up on the day if you don't have a team. But yeah, you'll see that there's food, there's workshops, there's everything. A quick note for those from a virtual attendee perspective that are kind of going through and thinking, well, what do I do? All of these workshops will be streamed as well, so you won't miss out on any of that content. Will be available through Discord, and for things like the silent disco, we can set up a Topia world for that, so that you can join and dance and stuff like that as well. So we'll make sure that everyone's missing, that no one's missing out, and that it's hybrid, and that you can get involved kind of no matter what you're doing. But yeah, here's how the weekend will start. We will go into more detail about when you need to be there, about how it works and things like that. What I would say is, from our perspective, I think we've had a few questions already, not necessarily in the chat, but just in general on Discord, of when people need to get there. I think as long as you're there for the 11 a.m. intro, that should be fine. Obviously, as you can see, we've got breakfast first, we've got a workshop with Vonage, and we've got kind of check-in and networking. But as long as you can make it for the 11 a.m. thing, that should be fine. We will also be streaming that session so for whatever reason, if it's travel, if it's delay, if it's whatever, you can't quite make it until 11:30, whatever, you should be able to catch it online still. So it's not like you'll be missing out, and it's not like if you're late, you shouldn't bother. We will have that intro session for you. You can watch online, so it should be all good. As mentioned there, if you have any questions about the hackathon, let us know. I will stop sharing now and kind of go through and see whether there's any questions, see whether there's anything we can help out with, see whether there's just, I guess, anything you need ahead of the hack weekend. And hopefully that was a helpful session. Don't know whether we have anything. Egle, do we have anything?
Hey, so I think just give it a couple of minutes, but maybe while we wait, maybe you have any tips for hackers for their Athena Hackathon weekend?
Yeah, no worries at all. I was going to say, yeah, if you have any questions, obviously let us know. We're available in Discord afterwards. If not, that's all fine. But yeah, I think tips wise, it would just be, I would say, and obviously we're relatively biased, but prepare ahead of time. So I think going through those themes, for example, they'll all be available. We will have the sponsors on the channel, so you can ask us questions, you can ask them questions. What I would also say about the themes, and this is probably a big tip for those in person as well, is to make sure that you don't necessarily just commit to one thing. So if you think, oh, that theme sounds great, fine, plan for that, that's amazing. But I think keep an open mind for the other categories as well. So each sponsor and each theme will have their own prize, their own dedicated thing. So if there are people that, if everyone wants to go for one theme, then maybe there's an easy opportunity and an easy win for engagement with a sponsor, and B, to help win their prize by competing in their category. So I think prepare ahead of time, make sure that you sort of have ideas for all of them, go into it with an open mind, and work with your team to make sure that everyone's on the same page, everyone knows what's going on, and we have everything covered. So I think there don't seem to be too many questions, which is always a good sign. I think hopefully, touch wood, that means it was a helpful question. So I think we can leave it there. And if there are any questions for people watching retrospectively, kind of coming back and watching afterwards, you can ask on our Discord. We'll always be available. And hopefully this was a helpful session for everyone. So thank you. Hopefully everyone's looking forward to the week ahead. Hopefully those sessions sound good, and we'll see you later on this afternoon. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
See you. Bye.